Gudani was different from other children growing up. She had big dreams of becoming a cosmetic surgeon. However, an unfortunate family tragedy led her to stop school and forgo that dream. At first, the new skin opportunity was just a means for her to earn supplemental income. But after a few months, she learned the power of leverage and how this business could offer her time, freedom, and a chance to transform other people's lives. In spite of having zero contacts in Manila, Rhea worked hard to become a Blue Diamond executive. Every challenge was orchestrated to make her a leader, and lessons learned along the way brought out the best in her. Seeing Rhea's time flexibility, it inspired her husband Ryan to reconsider a career in investment banking and to join her at New Skin instead. Rhea and Ryan have no regrets. This business has allowed them to do the things that really matter to them, which is to spend time with their family, travel with their son, and especially to serve the community through their church. The New Skin business has empowered them so they can empower others. Rhea and Ryan are inspired to work harder and to set even bigger goals. They hope their success story will give hope to more people to live a life that is enriching, meaningful, and purposeful.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome on stage, $1 million circle and 2-year team elite, Rhea Gudani.
I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling.
Good morning, Southeast Asia! Good morning, Philippines! Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Wow, this is a dream come true, representing my country here on stage. And before I start, I want to greet a pleasant good morning to all our corporate executives. Thank you so much for inviting me to share my success journey. You know, when my account manager told me, I heard it. When my account manager told me that I'm gonna talk about taking action and I'm invited to speak in Southeast Asia, I was a little bit happy. Because honestly, taking action, it's no-brainer. It's the most simple topic that you can ever talk about, because we just really need to go out there, make things happen, and to really just not stop thinking and analyzing things. So how many of you have heard, I'll start with a story, how many of you have heard about the Marshmallow Challenge? The Marshmallow Tower Challenge. I love this challenge. A lot of organizations have done this, but my most favorite one was when they brought 7 groups of people. The first group is the MBA graduates. The second group is the CEO of large companies. The third group are the lawyers. The fourth group are the physicians. Then the college graduates, the high school, and the kindergarten. The challenge was for them to build the highest tower using only 4 items. And that is 20 sticks of spaghetti, 1 yard of scotch tape, 1 yard of string, and a marshmallow. And they only had 18 minutes to build it. So when the timer started, guess who did the worst? The MBA grads, followed by the CEO of large companies. Guess who did the best? The kindergarten. So why did that happen? You see, these MBA grads, they came together, they strategize, they orient themselves, they think about what will work, what will not work, until they found out their time is almost over, and they had to build the tower, and after building the tower fell. But with the kindergarten, they just did it. They just took action and did it. They built the tower, it fell. They built the tower, it fell. And they got a feedback, what will work. And it finally, they actually built the highest tower. That's the kindergarten. Have you heard about the quote, the way to success is to double the rate of failure. Why am I talking about that? Because when I started this business, I was just like that kindergarten. I didn't know anything. I don't have any business background. In fact, I'm just ordinary. I came from a part of the Philippines called Zamboanga. It's the western part of the Philippines. And I call it the terrorist hub because there's all bombing everywhere. I grew up in this chaotic environment, so I wake up with the sound of the bombs. So that's where I grew up. And I was raised by a single mom. She was my life. She was everything to me. She was my world. But in 1998, when I came home from a summer vacation, an intruder went into our house, killed my mom and my cousin. They suffered 15 hacks of wounds that took their life. And I was there. I was there, but God spared my life. God spared me in 3 seconds. He spared my life. I was able to lock the door just before the intruder is about to take my life. So at the time, it was very painful, very traumatic. You know, pain and trauma is 2 different things. I had to deal with it. I was 19 years old at the time. And I was very blessed that I was raised in a Christian family that taught me how to see things in a spiritual perspective. And at that time, I knew I had to make a conscious choice and a decision. I knew I had the power of choice. And that choice was to turn this test into a testimony, to turn this mess into a message, to turn this victim story into a victor. But I tell you what, it wasn't easy. It was a conscious decision that I had to do every single day. And I realized that I will never allow my past to determine my future. That's one of the choices I really made. And because of that, I continued to dream again. I move on with my life. I use the pain to move on. I use the pain as a power to find my life. And I came to Manila. That's 2 hours flight from the province that I came from. I only had $10 in my pocket. I didn't know anyone in Manila. I stayed with my aunt. And I was really looking for something that will fend me for med school because my hopes was actually to proceed for med school and to be in medicine. But I didn't have the money. So I had to find ways. So my option was actually to get a job. But my course, medical technologies, they don't really pay high. And I really prayed to God, God, you spared my life, show me your plan. And then I got a call from my cousin. He was very instrumental. He told me, Rhea, you know what, why won't you check out my business? So at that time, I was open for anything and everything. I came to the presentation, and when I saw the presentation, what really attracted me was the products, the magic show, the demonstration of the products. I didn't really pay attention on the compensation plan, but I paid attention on the demonstration. I said, these are amazing products. Actually, it was really the products that got me into the business. And when my cousin talked about his story and how much money he made in the business, I was really quite challenged because if this is a guy who can do it, who can become successful in a skincare business, I can do it as well because I look more like an anti-aging person than this guy. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. But the reason why I did it because I just want initially to come up with the money to support myself for med school. However, the longer I did the business, the more I fell in love. I fell in love with the culture, the innovation, the people. Especially when I started meeting very successful people. And one of them is my mentor, $5 million Circle member, team elite from the Philippines, Sandy Martinez. You know, his life, his story was very inspirational because he also came to Manila to build the business and several provinces without knowing anyone. And because of that, I started to see New Skin in a different way. I saw purpose. I saw meaning. And that's where I decided to make New Skin my one and only option to success. That was the very most important decision in my life, and I know it's going to be worth it. But the moment I decided to become successful was the moment I had to face my challenges. I had the painful past that keeps coming into my mind again and again. I had no money, I had no contacts, I had no business background, and I suffered this health condition called mitral valve prolapse. This is a condition I didn't want in my life, but it just happened because of the trauma. But you know, I know why I needed to do the business. My why was bigger than my circumstances. And if you know why you're doing this business, it's really gonna fuel your actions. And even if I didn't know anyone in Manila, I had to go out talking to people. I had to make it happen for myself because I know why. My why was actually to make my life useful once again because this is a second chance. God has given me a second chance and I don't want to use it for the world. I really want to make a difference. So I went all out. I took massive, determined, and repeated action. And what did I do? I just talked to people. I talked to people. They said the more people I'm going to talk to, the more successful I'm going to be. Because new blood is the lifeblood of the business. And I realized when your mouth is open, your business is open. When your mouth is closed, your business is closed. So no matter I didn't know anyone, I just went out. I just talked to people. Because friends, if you have big goals and big whys, taking action is not our best option. It is the only option. And the problem about us, you and I, yes, we have a problem. You know, we tend to be very selfish most of the time. What do I mean by selfish? Even though we have big goals, we have big why, we got stuck when it comes to taking action. Because we think too much. We think, am I better? Am I ready? Do I know enough? You think so much about the process. But stop doing that. Instead of thinking about ourselves, why not go out and think about people? Because that's what New Skin Business is all about. Before we get what we want, we have to help others get what they want. So quit thinking about ourselves. And the culture that is ingrained in New Skin is all about making a difference. It's all about people first. So why don't we go out and serve people? Serving doesn't mean that you enslave yourselves. Serving doesn't mean that your brand affiliates enslave you. Serving means being available when the opportunity comes. I like what Vicky said a while ago. We have what the world needs and what the world wants. So why not go out there and talk to people? And sometimes, and most of the times, working hard is never enough. It's all about fighting hard. When I did this business, I was young, I was single, I didn't have any children, I didn't have a husband yet, but I did everything. I did whatever it took to become successful. Why? Because I knew I was building a story. I was running for that big story that's going to shake the world one day, that's going to give hope and inspiration one day. So it was not an excuse. So I was 33 years old. I remember it clearly. I had everything because I fought hard. But I had, except one thing, I didn't have a husband at the time. So I said, it's time to get a husband. So I prayed for a husband and I also took action. I went out and looked for a husband. And praise God, I met him. He's the most wonderful guy in the world. He's my God's best. So this is Ryan Gudani. And he is an industrial engineer graduate. He had his MBA MBA from one of the prestigious business school in the Philippines. He landed his dream job in Morgan Stanley as an investment banker. And he was running the Philippine office of Morgan Stanley. And I remember he was flying in private jet, coming to Singapore and Hong Kong, just closing deals. So this is a guy I met who absolutely have no reason why he's gonna do Nu Skin with me. But you know what? I knew my story is bigger. And I knew my story will count. So one day, our first year of marriage, we traveled 4 times. The first was we had our honeymoon in Europe. The second was we had our honeymoon in the Holy Land. Then I went to incentive trips of Nu Skin. And then after that, I told him, I want to go to the States, to the US for 2 months. And he was quite worried. He said, oh no, I used my leaves already. I cannot do that anymore. I can't travel with you anymore. And I told him, honey, you know what? This is going to be our life in Nu Skin. We're going to travel the world. We're going to see the world. So it's either you're going to build great memories with me and your son, or you're going to build great memories with your boss. And you know what? He and his boss were really buddied. His boss was even our best man during his wedding. So I really prayed to God. And you know what? My story really mattered because when he saw my lifestyle, he wanted to spend that great memories with me. And I know he was smart. He left his job after 4 years, and we have been doing this together. It has been a very meaningful journey doing this business side by side with my husband, Ryan. But without that story that I was building, without that story I was fighting for, I could have not convinced him to leave that prestigious job. And aside from that, I'm doing what I really prayed for and love to do. I'm a homeschooling mother. So this is what I was fighting for in the beginning. I was willing to go all out and take action. But friends, let me tell you something. The enemy of taking action is analysis paralysis. We always think like those CEOs, like those MBA grads. No offense, but we must start thinking like the kindergarten. Stop thinking too much. You know, when I started this business, I told you I didn't know anyone. I had no contacts. So what I did is I attended most of the events and the conventions that there was, just to meet people, just to be able to talk to people. So I remembered I met this doctor in one of the conventions. We exchanged numbers, and I called him for an appointment. I showed the products. I talked about the business. He bought the products. He did the business for a while, but didn't pursue. But just before he slowed down, I asked him, do you know anyone who would be interested to do business with me? And he said, yeah, why won't you go and meet my patient in Pampanga? So Pampanga is like 2 hours away. It's like a suburb in Manila. So at the time, I had no car. I had to ride the bus just to meet that client, that patient. So I met the patient. I did a demo. I presented the products, presented the business. They bought the products. They did the business for a while. But the couple had to leave for Dubai. And just before they left for Dubai, I had their 300 name list. And I said, who among these people would you think would be interested in the business? And he said, why won't you call my nephew? I said, okay, I'm going to call your nephew. So I called the nephew, and I presented the business. I showed the product, but her nephew was still a college student. He didn't have the money, and he was not ready for the business. So I asked again, would you know anyone who would be interested to do business with me? And this guy said, yes, I know someone. I know someone who really needs your product because he has so much acne on his face. He's my classmate, and his name is Mar. And I said, okay, I'm going to meet Mar. So I met Mar. I showed the products. I showed the business. He bought the products for his acne. And he did the business for a while with me. And during that time, he invited someone, his friend, named Jem. And I was praying, God, Lord, I've worked so hard. Let me find my team elite. Let me find that power downline. And this brother one day brought her sister. And I told God, God, I hope she's the one. And you know what? She's the one. She's a team elite right now with his husband, Elaine and Mike. And under her is also a team elite, Nikki Nunag. Wow, that process. Analysis paralysis, I didn't have that. I just took action. And another lady I met in a grocery store. So I met this lady, we exchanged numbers, and I did a demonstration. I showed the products. She did the business with me, but she had to leave also the country. And just before she left, I said, where's your 300 name list? Would you be able to give it to me? And who among these people would be interested to do the business? And she told me, oh, why won't you call this person named Sally? So I called Sally. I did a demonstration. I showed the business, but she wasn't ready because she had no money. I said, Sally, let me help you get started. Would you know anyone among your friends who would be interested to do the business and buy the products? And she said, yeah, I know a friend. She loves skincare products. So I called her friend named Celia. And Celia came, bought a Bath Ivory product, the powder. After a demonstration, she bought that powder, and I said, would you be interested to do business with me? And Celia said, oh, you know what? I'm not a business-minded person, but I'm going to introduce you to someone. He's Chinese, and he's business-minded, and he's one of the supplier of our company. And here I go. I said, God, I hope this is the guy. I hope he's the one. So I called this guy, and I invited him in the BOM. He's Chinese, true enough. He's successful. And after seeing the BOM presentation, he said, you know what, Rhea, your products are good. The compensation is good, but I just got promoted in my company. And I said, here we go again. Lord, I need you. And he said, but you know what? I'm going to introduce you to this lady. She needs the business right now, and she's looking for one. She's my niece. And I said, okay, I'm really going to pray for your niece. So I invited the niece. Her name is Joanne. She bought non-surgical facelift from me, and right now she's a diamond executive. And under her is a blue diamond, a team elite, and a blue diamond qualifying team elite. Guys, let me tell you what this process has done to me. It built this and this. It made this very tough, and it made this very tough. And nothing will ever dampen this and this. And because of that process, no shortcuts, I'm built to last in this business. So don't ever wish for things to be easy. Wish that you can be better. Wish that the process will sharpen you as a person and will sharpen your leadership. Just go out and talk to people. Talk to people and talk to people. That's what taking action is all about. And these two won the Stars Challenge with me. And it's just gonna happen. Without knowing anyone in this big territory, I was able to build a family of leaders who loves the Lord and fears the Lord, who's as driven as I am. And these people, they're not only friends, but I call them my family. When I was growing up, I might not have a family. I was robbed having a family. But God is so good to bless me with a family that's bigger and beautiful. And this is how we travel. We love to take pictures together. And these are memories, wonderful memories that we build. And one of the great things I got from taking action is really relationship that will last. Relationship that will last, that's lasting. And this is really what one of my most treasured and one of the things that I'm just so proud of getting in this business. It's the friends and family. And this is one of the best picture we had. This is in Dubai. We wore this Team Jesus shirt, and we thought that we're going to go to prison afterwards. But God spared our life. So praise God. Okay, so this is us. Now, all you need to do right now is accomplish 3 actions every day. Not ordinary actions. Actions that will make a mark in your business, that will leave a mark in your business. Actions that will allow your business to last the next 100 days. Get things done. Take action. Train your people live by modeling. Because by taking action, you're modeling and you're training people live. Because they see you, they watch you, and they're going to follow you. And every action you take should point to the BDM story. For me, the BDM is the most innovative program of Nu Skin because it allows us leaders to still be on top of our game because we can only lead based on our production as leaders. So we accomplish one milestone from another, and you also have to practice daily. The quality of your practice will determine the caliber of your performance. And one of the things I like about practicing daily, like an athlete running for championships, but we are running for that big story, is that we're able to have courage. That's what you get from daily practice. And you know what, friends? We fly in this business not because we're fearless, but because we have courage. So practice daily. So this is one milestone after the other that we have gotten in this business. No shortcuts. Just take action. So remember, friends, turn that test into testimony, turn that mess into a message, and turn that victim into a victor story. Get yourself uncomfortable. You know, I love being uncomfortable because by being uncomfortable, you don't have any competition. Because nobody would want, not everybody would want to be in that state. So we have to get uncomfortable and just go out there and make things happen. And would you allow me to give all the honor and praise to my Lord Jesus Christ, my Abba Father, the lover of my soul, the one who wrote my story. You know, guys, I'm going to pray for you. I know God has also wonderful plans for you. Never doubt why you're here because He planted you here for a purpose. And that is to make a difference out there. And thank God for Nu Skin. Thank you so much. Never, never give up. God loves you, and God is with you. Thank you, Southeast Asia. Thank you.
Please give a big hand to Rhea Gudani. Thank you for being an inspiration to everyone.